Everybody, welcome back to my channel, and I'm going to show you how to make this delicious creamy Cajun chicken and shrimp pasta. Let's get started. I'm starting off by making my Cajun seasoning blend, which in this mortar and pestle I've got some oregano, thyme, and basil. So I'm just going to add it to the rest of my seasonings, which is going to be some garlic powder, some onion powder, some smoked paprika, some cayenne pepper, and some salt. I think that's all that's in there, but check the website for the exact recipe and measurements. So I'm going to divide the seasoning in half, and I'm going to use half of it on the shrimp and the other half on the chicken. So I pounded the chicken to flatten it some to allow it to cook more evenly. So I'm going to season it, and when I have time, I like to put it in the refrigerator for at least an hour to allow it to marinate. It makes the flavors come through a lot better when it penetrates the meat. So I'm not doing it this time, but that's what I typically would do, is to refrigerate it before I put it into the pan to saute. I'm just going to brown it on both sides over medium-high heat. And I'm just going to make sure that it is done thoroughly on both sides, making sure that internal temperature of chicken is 165 because you don't want to get sick from chicken. And after I'm done with the chicken, I then put in my shrimp and then saute that as well, which that just takes a few minutes per side. Shrimp cooks very quickly, and you don't want to overcook it because if you do, then it can become rubbery, which you don't want to have with your shrimp. Unlike the chicken, I don't need to let the shrimp marinate. It never needs that. Once you season it and saute it, the flavor will come right through. After I've cooked my chicken and shrimp, I put it to the side and get started on the sauce. So I'm melting some butter and then adding my Cajun seasoning, which is going to be the same as what I use for the chicken and shrimp. And the reason I'm sauteing it, it allows those flavors to come through, and you'll notice they become very fragrant. So after I've sauteed my seasonings, I then add in some chicken stock. And after I've got my chicken stock added, I'm going to add in some tomato paste. And I'm just mixing it all together to make sure that all of the tomato paste gets added and there aren't any lumps in that. And as you can see, it'll start to get more of a reddish brown color from the tomato paste and the seasonings. So now we're going to start to make it creamy, which to make it creamy, I'm going to add in some heavy cream. Yes, some heavy cream. This is a cream-based sauce. And actually, it is really an Alfredo sauce, which has some seasoning and a little spice to it. So there really isn't much difference beyond that. And you know what else I like to do with this sauce? I like to add it to other meats like lamb. I love to add it to that. And so after I've done this and got it all mixed in together, I'm going to now add in some Parmesan cheese, which is going to give it that cheesy flavor and will help to thicken the sauce. Now, don't be afraid if you think the sauce is too thin. It will thicken up over a little time after it gets to sit. But if you feel a little nervous and you want it to be a little bit thicker, you can just add in a tablespoon of flour to help thicken it. But you can use whatever pasta you like. I am using some bow ties, but you can use whatever you like. And I'm just going to add the sauce to that once it is done, and then add in my pieces of cooked chicken and shrimp. Now what I like to do, instead of putting it all in at once, now you can put it all in at once if you want to, but I like to put most of it in and then add a few of the pieces that aren't coated into the sauce on top of my plate. Now it won't make too much difference in the taste, but I kind of like the way that it looks that way. Now it is all done, and all that is left to do is to plate it. Now you saw how easy this was. All I did was fry up some chicken, some shrimp, made a quick and easy creamy sauce, and that was really about all there was to it. Now you can add other things to this if you want to, like some bell peppers, some onions. You can add other types of meat if you want to. You can use different cheeses if you like. This is how I like this recipe, but you can do it however you want to. You can flavor however you like. And now to finish it off, I'm going to hit it with just a little chopped basil.